You are listening to the Hiking Radio Network, where we talk the walk with shows by hikers, about hikers, for everybody.
This is the Hammock Hangers Podcast, where we hang out and talk about everything from hammocks and hammock camping to the group hangs from around the country. All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Hammock Hangers Podcast. I am your host, Paul Collins, or also known as Skunkape. I have AJ Glenn, or Pheonix, with me.
Hello, everyone.
And we're back for our first, this will actually be our first bi-weekly.
First bi-weekly, yeah.
So hope y'all didn't miss us too much last week, but we are back and ready to go for another episode.
I didn't miss you at all, Paul.
Yeah, you did. You know you did. You do every week.
Not that I don't talk to you. Since we're in the middle of a full-throng hang-con season, we tend to talk quite a bit.
Exactly.
Not on the podcast, but on that little, that hammock hang that we, put together.
Yes.
There's a few, little nits and crannies that need to be ironed out, hourly, but it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's funny that you said that about hang-con season, because when was it? Last week, matter of fact, is when I started sending out the emails to all of our vendors and all that good stuff. And my wife goes walking past my office door. She looked in and she saw me. And she asked me, she's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Sending out emails." She goes, "Is it hang-con season already?" I was like, "Yep."
They know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yep.
Yeah, Don's the same way. I'm constantly at the computer, making social media posts and taking track of donations and raffle ticket orders. Which, by the way, if you haven't heard, you have until October 31st to get in on our super early bird raffle tickets purchase of 7 tickets for $20. I mean, it doesn't get any better for that. And Paul, as many vendors and stuff as I've made already so far, social media post about our vendor or our raffle this year, and
it's going to be off the chain, dude.
It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be huge.
Lit.
We have so many new vendors, so many cool new products, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag for a lot of things, but we've got some old vendors that are coming back, and we've got a lot of really, really cool vendors that I'm really excited to meet for the first time.
Yep. Well, we're going to talk about that towards the end of the episode. That'd be one of the last things that we go over. So anybody that's interested and that is going to be coming to HangCon, you'll definitely want to stick around, because I will go over the list of confirmed vendors so far. And I mean, this is just the ones that have got back with me since I've sent emails out last week. And I know there's a lot more, especially of our old vendors that have not responded yet that I know will.
Yeah.
So we'll go over all that, though, towards the end of the episode. But before that, I know you wanted to do an episode. This is going to be the Losing Pheonix episode.
The Losing Pheonix. I am leaving the podcast, everyone.
Don't believe him, because he leaves the podcast.
Actually, I'm not.
He leaves the podcast.
That was totally clickbait. Sorry. I mean, there's probably a small population of our listeners oh, thank God.
Yeah.
He just won't shut up.
Yeah.
But no.
One down, one to go.
One down, one to go. Yeah. Hey, if anybody wants to take this over, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome.
Oh, God. We have too much fun with it.
So, yeah, we're going to get into our episode called Losing Pheonix. And today we're going to be talking about just my adventure in weight loss. We've talked about a little bit of my weight loss journey of the past year or so. And I just kind of want to give an update because this summer was kind of like a game changer kind of experience for me.
Well,
Before we get into that, though, we would like to just do some vendor news or hammock community news, because we've got a lot of stuff going on in the hammock community right now.
exactly.
Luckily,
So-
all of it good. All of it good.
Right. So this is going to be the breaking news with our on-site
Facebook stalker? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll come up with a name for you later.
Facebook / Hammock Forum stalker. But yeah, so we've got some kind of a big news. First thing that I'll talk about that's already happened, and a lot of you may already know it, but one of our favorite vendors, definitely one close to my heart, Warbonnet Outdoors. They have moved locations, and I couldn't be more excited. As much as I love Colorado is really, really, really far away, and it's hard because a lot of our major hammock community in the country, as of right now, hopefully that'll change over time, is mainly situated in the southeastern United States. But Warbonnet has packed up shop, and their new location is over in our way. They're up in Tennessee right now. So
Woo woo.
absolutely. So hopefully, Brandon, if you're listening, since you're a lot closer, we'd love to have you at HangCon. Like,
Have you there and set up?
Yes, like, whoa. Really, really would be excited to have Warbonnet join us for HangCon.
On site. That would be awesome.
Another really good thing or bad thing, depending on how you look at it. We've got some news from Autumn Outdoor Gear. Anne-Marie, who makes amazing, amazing products. I have one of her Juniper hammocks, and I absolutely love it. Took it with me out west a couple of years ago. She is actually taking a 3-month, I believe, hiatus to just kind of work on her and enjoy fall. We don't celebrate fall here in Florida, but I hear it's a really great thing in some of our northern states where the leaves turn beautiful and the weather gets cooler. And again, I don't know what that's like here in Florida.
Green and brown.
Yeah, green to brown. Green to dead.
Yeah.
Green to very dead.
Yes.
But she is taking a little bit of time off to go hiking and camping and just enjoy life. So best of wishes to Anne-Marie and Autumn Outdoor Gear. She'll be back in the saddle soon enough, but Anne-Marie, I hope we wish you the best, and we hope that you find everything and even more in your little vacation away from sewing up to the up-teen hours of the night, I'm sure. But and finally, I know a lot of us have been waiting with bated breath for the email that finally came out yesterday night. There was a brand new update from the Yobo Kickstarter for the Hive Cricket, or for the Hive Cricket stand, the Hive Hammock stand.
You just gave Cal a whole new idea.
Yeah. The Freedom Hive Cricket stand. No, the Hive stand, the pipes that they need to construct the stand, they have arrived in Casper, Wyoming, and they can start assembly for the stands, and they should start rolling them out. I don't want to give exact times because I just don't know, but in the very near future. So there is light at the end of that long-waited tunnel for those hive stands that I know a ton of us are really excited to get our hands on. So they'll be sending those out. The email went out, so if you are a sponsor for that Kickstarter, make sure you check your email. Just kind of get a sponsor packet, just some questionnaires, just confirming your shipping address. Make sure you get that out as soon as you can back to Cal and Kristen so they can kind of get things situated on their end to make sure that you get your stand, if you purchase one, as soon as they are able to ship them out. They will be shipping them out in order in which they received, which I know those first 20 went like gangbusters. I snuck away from duties, and I placed in my order as soon as the Kickstarter went live, and I thought I was stupid fast, and I barely made it. I think I was 18 out of 20. It was insane.
Yeah, I think that's what you had said, and that was only, I mean, just a couple of minutes in.
Oh, it was like 30 seconds, if that.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, I sat there clicking on the Kickstarter, just watching it go up and up and up and up. That was pretty amazing.
Actually. Yeah, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch after I got in on the early 20.
Right.
After that, I didn't really care. But, I mean, it was cool to see watch. I was really excited for Cal and Kristen. Great people, great company, and great products. So
don't forget Ginger. We always leave Ginger out.
We always forget Ginger. Oh, and Kristoff as well.
Yep.
Their new Yobo elf.
It's a Yobo elf.
Yobo elf. Yeah.
Somebody needs to fill him in on, putting a few twigs and leaves in.
Yeah, a little bit of Yobo spice.
Yobo spice.
I think I'm copywriting that term.
The term, yeah,
the Yobo spice.
We need to create something to go on, like the pork or something.
We have so much. We have so much fun with our vendors, but probably we don't have as much fun with our vendors as we do with Calico. We give each other such a hard time. It's wonderful. We are thankful for their friendship and their support, but gosh, why are they friends with us?
Oh, I don't. Hey, look. I get messages from Cal. We're all in a group. Me, you, Kristen, and Cal are in a text group. But I get messages from Cal solely because he's a welder and I'm an electrician. So there's that whole banter back and forth between me and him. He's constantly sending me little videos and memes and everything else, and I do the same thing with him. It's awesome. We have fun.
But yeah, so so that's all that I've seen for as far as our vendor news. If you have any other news that you think the community should know, just drop us an email and let us in on some inside knowledge that we'll be happy to disseminate to the 12 or 13 of you that actually listen to the podcast on a weekly basis.
You're balanced out on only 13 people listening.
That's funny. On other notes, we have entered the fall season, at least for most of the country. Not us all, but which means it is hang season. Not just, for us, it's hang con season now until January, but for the rest of the country, we've got a lot of really.
They're actually able to get out and hang.
They're actually able to get out and hang and not melt. So we have a lot of hangs that are on our calendar, even one that we will actually be able to go to. So MAHA, the Mid-Atlantic Hammock Hangers Association, will be doing their hang at Caledonia State Park September 22nd through 24th. Really cool hang. That's definitely a bucket list hang for Paul and I. So if you're up in that area or have a weekend free that you want to drive a little bit, definitely give them a holler. A lot of fun there. They do that event twice a year, I believe. Fall and a spring.
Yeah, I think so.
MAHA. So definitely check them out. If you can't hit the fall one, definitely check them out in the spring. Now shouting from the motherland, at least the northern part of it, the Nova Hang, which is an annual event in Northern Virginia, is happening on November 10th through 12th. Again, check them out. And in North Carolina, the Yates Hang at Yates Place will be on November 2nd through 5th. It's a little bit more of a rustic hang there. I think it's kind of I don't know if it's exactly a hike-in situation, but it's pretty rural. But I've looked at the clientele that usually shows up at Yates Place, and it looks like a hoot of a time. Lots of food going on there, and lots of stories that come out of there. Our good friend Two Speed has been a couple times, and he has nothing but awesome things to say about it. So definitely check that out if you're in that area. In New Hampshire, the weekend of September 29th through October 1st is going to be the Great Pumpkin Hang. Up in Michigan, our good buddy Carla with a K is doing her Magilligan hang, and that's going to be on October 12th through the 15th.
That's a new hang too that they're just starting. Her and a couple of others, I do believe, right? So this will be like the first one.
More information on that, go back and listen to our interview with Carla with a K. Great episode. It was a lot of fun to record, and she talks all about kind of what to expect for the Machilligan hang that she is doing. And last but not least, the hang that Paul and I and the HangCon crew will be making an appearance at, that we try to go every year just because it's a blast of a time. We will be going to the Palmetto State Fall Sprawl, and that is going to be at Santee State Park in South Carolina, and that is October 12th through the 15th. If you're definitely in that area or feel like making a drive, stop by there, say hey to all the wonderful Palmetto State folks. Also, drop us a line. I know we're going to be doing some podcast recording and some interviews over that, as well as they have a raffle there that goes to support a really awesome organization that gets families out camping in South Carolina. So, hang season is upon us, and I could not be more excited.
And not to mention, you get to go to that hang and, laugh and carry on with Cackles.
That's true. Can't forget about Miss Cackles.
We give Heather as much crap as we do Kristen and Cal, but we use this opportunity to be able to go up and do it face to face.
It's one thing doing it on a text thread. It's a whole other thing when you were face to face.
Yes.
But yeah, so check those out, and also check our HangCon webpage. And we've got a map on our webpage that has a lot of the hangs from around the country. You can also check out Hammock Forums and Dutchware Gear's website for a very similar calendar for a hang that may be in your area.
Yep. And if there's any hangs coming up that y'all know about, shoot us a line and let us know about it. Give us all the details, and I can put it on our website so that other people can find it a little easier as well. But I think that's about it for all the hangs and the news. So now I think we're going to get on with the actual episode where AJ continues to tell us a little bit about his weight loss journey and everything else. And what I'm curious to know about is how his weight loss has improved his hammock camping, if it has.
It's definitely changed things. So I kind of want to preface this episode by this is not in any way meant to be some like weight loss is so fantastic, we should all do weight loss and da 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 da. My life is so much better, and if you're not doing this and you're not living to the best of your ability, that's not what this is about. This is just about me. People come from lots of different backgrounds, and just like in the hammock community, hang your own hang. You do you, and I'm going to do me, and this is just a report on how I've done things.
Yeah.
So to kind of start things off, for those of you that have listened to us for a while, I used to be a big guy, and it feels odd even saying that used to be a big guy, because I kind of still have a little of that. And I started my really dedicated weight loss journey in February of 2022. So it's been about a year and a half now, a little bit longer. And I underwent vertical sleeve gastrectomy in March 23rd of 2022, a couple days after my wife's birthday, and it's been a crazy ride. There's been lots of things that have changed, and to make a long story short, for those that are numbers people, my highest weight that I was aware of, that I saw a number on a scale, topped out around 442 pounds. So we're not talking about like, oh, I'm 270 and a heavyweight. No, we're talking, I was a big old fella. And
a hammock bear.
A hammock bear, yes. And Paul, so cautiously, also has old pictures of me that I've tried to convince him to burn, but alas, they remain locked tight in a safe. Hopefully, never to see the light of day ever again.
Pictures and videos.
Yeah, and videos. So yeah,
don't ever get on my bad side, buddy. Don't ever leave HaneCon.
As of this morning, I weighed myself, and I am right at around 220 pounds. So literally half the person died.
So you're now actually lighter than I am.
That's insane. Like it blows my mind. So, but numbers aren't really the issue here. It's more of just how my hammock things have changed. So let's talk about, because I'm gonna talk. There's a lot of really good things, but I want to be real and know and just talk to people about. Yeah, there are some downsides to this whole thing as well. It hasn't always been great. I didn't have any like complications that weren't driven by my own poor choices. But there's definitely some things now that I could have done 2 years ago that I definitely cannot do now. And that is something that does affect, like for example, if me and you went on a hike together, which we are planning on doing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for future episodes. There are certain things that you would be able to do that I couldn't. So, for example, if we got to a water crossing, and we knew that we wouldn't have water for an extended period of time, what do you normally do at a water crossing?
Camel up.
You drink
as much as I possibly can.
Drink as much as you possibly could,
and then fill up. Yeah.
That's probably what, at least 32 ounces that you can hold in your stomach.
Oh, probably at least.
Yeah. Me, no. It might be 12.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe. So
you have to carry more.
I would have to carry more.
Whereas me, I usually, whenever I'm hiking, I usually carry like maybe 2 20-ounce bottles or 2 of the smart water bottles on me. And, whenever I get to a water source, I drink and drink and drink and drink. And then I fill those 2 little bottles up, and that's all I'm carrying.
Yeah, if I was to drink and drink and drink, it would come up and up and up. It would not stay down.
So you would need either bigger bottles or a bladder.
Yeah. So I don't have that luxury of, filling my camel hump out. My camel hump is significantly smaller, as I affectionately call him Sleevey Wonder. Sleevey Wonder does not hold that much fluid. So that is a downside. Same thing with food. Again, on the trail, I'm assured that, there's certain times where that you're not going to stop, or so you have a big meal.
Yeah.
Or
it depends. It depends on the hiking that I'm doing, but yeah.
Right. I don't have that option. I have to eat like smaller meals. And I also have to be very cautious about what I am eating. Like for energy and things, I know a lot of hikers may take granola bars or like candy bars just to get that sugar and those carbohydrates. Quick thing. Yeah, I can't do that.
Really? Why is that?
Because of the way that my body now processes sugars, it doesn't. And so a large amount of sugar, like something like a candy bar, I get sick.
Really? Okay, so you're not doing the whole Snickers bar thing.
No, I'm not doing the whole Snickers bar. Now, granted, I have found some like Quest makes some protein bars
Yeah.
that are pretty darn good. That I have. They're not quite a Snickers bar because I'm just being honest, but they are a nice substitute for something that I can have.
Okay.
Now, I don't have an extreme food sensitivity like some people do. Like, I can eat a little bit of rice, but again, rice kind of fills me up. And
Right.
I just have to make sure that I get anywhere between 80 to 100 grams of protein a day.
Okay.
So I'm really pumping that. So I'd be doing a lot of beef jerky. I'd be doing a lot of like Spam. In fact, I'm having some Spam right now. Just a lot of meat.
You and some of the meats that you eat.
We found this in the cabinet, and my son cooked it up yesterday. He's like, "Oh, Daddy, you'll eat it." Well, he's not wrong.
Uh-huh.
So
Probably dated back about 10 years.
that's fine. Spam lasts forever. It lasts longer than a diamond. It's okay. And so I have to be a little bit more careful on what I am eating, and so the food might be a little bit heavier than you would say. Like, I'm not taking instant mashed potatoes, or I'm not taking ramen. Although I don't know, I think I might stick it up for ramen. I'm not a huge like instant mashed potato fan, so
I'll take them every once in a while, but I got to mix stuff in with them.
yeah. Ramen, I just might just eat cold. Like, not eat cold, but just eat dry. Kind of like just a sandwich.
I've done that. Throw some peanut butter and jelly in between them.
Yeah,
break them apart.
Can't do peanut butter and jelly.
Really?
Yeah, too much sugar. Now, I'm sure there might be like some sugar-free version, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter and jelly anyway. But I mean, my daughter will eat them like they're going out of style, but I'm just like, meh. Maybe I'm just like food bougie. I don't know. But
I think you are now.
So yeah, so I can't have a lot of your normal food, and also like that end of trail like smorgasbord.
Yeah, the biggest steak, or go into a town and order a large pizza and breadsticks and wings
and eat all of it,
and a 2-liter soda.
Yeah, I might could eat 2 pieces of pizza and then I am full.
Well, I remember whenever I first met you, we first started hanging out and all that.
I dread this next. I don't know what you're going to say.
I'm not going to go into all the details. If you want to, you can. But I remember like when we would go out to Florida Sands, now, what used to be Sertoma, and you would always, of course, text, "I'll be there in a little bit," swinging in somewhere to grab a bite to eat. And I remember what your meal consisted of then, and then what your meal consists of now when you show up. And there is a huge difference.
Yeah, just because it simply doesn't fit. I still love food. Don't get me wrong. That did not go away. I still love food, but my body's like a lot better at saying, "Oh no, this is not going down, because if you put this down, we are going to revolt." So,
and they will. Your body will win, huh?
Oh, it will win. It will win. It's
That's
horrible.
Funny.
I'm not going to go into details because it's crazy. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's definitely some things that I had to change that will be that way for the rest of my life.
Right.
And so when people say, "Oh, I haven't had this happen," but Facebook groups talk about people that they have heard the comment, "Oh, you took the easy way out." No, not really. I had to completely change the way that I eat, the way that I view food, the way that I meal plan, everything for the rest of my life. That's not hard. That's not easy. However, what it has afforded me and my camping and my adventure, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Right.
This summer really, really proved that. The past summer trip that we went on, it was a lot better. What I thought was significantly better, it wasn't. This summer was what really opened my eyes, and it really happened on what hike were we on? I think it was the Three Lakes trail that we were on in a little outside of Ridgeway. So we had driven to this place, and we were hiking out Blue Lakes, I think is what it was called. And we were on this trail with a kind of significant amount of elevation change. I want to say like 1,300 feet in a matter of 3 miles, something like that. It was a good little chunk of elevation.
Right.
And I was leading the pack, and I was not at all gassed. And that was, it was huge for me. And I was going down the trail, and I can't really describe just the childhood like joy that I had being out on this trail and being able to move the way that I could and being able to look up to see where I was going, not necessarily always glued down to the ground to see, oh, where am I going to step next?
Right.
And being able to dodge and jump and hop over, tree fall, or hop over rocks, or, hop down inclines where before it was like, all right, I'm going to drag my butt down off this, 2-foot step because I'm not hopping. Because if I hop, it's going to hurt when I stop.
Right.
But just being able to do that, I felt like a kid again. Like running through this woods that I have not yet explored. And it was so euphoric that I don't think I've ever felt that way, at least not in recent memory.
Gotcha.
So my activity level as far as hiking, and, we talked a few times over the summer, and I'll say, like, after this summer, I caught a hiking bug. When we were in Twin Lakes, I volunteered to go solo hiking on some of these trips, and I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to do more of them. I was looking for those 6-mile hikes,
Really?
Not just the the quarter mile out and back to like some little lookout. Because let's be real, before I had this surgery, because my wife has always been a huge hiker, she likes hiking, and she does a lot of running. I'm not to that point yet, but because again, if you see me running, you better run too. Because there's probably
something really big is on its way for me to run.
And so whenever we would do these trips, she'd always look for hikes, and I would always ask, "So how long is this hike?" And if it was anything over a mile, I'm just like, I'm just gonna wait here in the car because. Yeah. We went to Shenandoah a couple years ago, and they did a bunch of hiking, and it had like some rock scramble that they were going to do. For one, it was 3 miles, so I immediately vetoed that in my head. And then when she said the rock scramble, I was like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Another thing that I found, and I kind of understand this, but I don't in the same way. I've never really been a fan of heights. We would go to some of the places on the Blue Ridge Parkway that had like big overlooks right on the AT, and we get close to a rock's edge because it was a cool picture,
right?
And I would always feel so incredibly nervous that my fat uncoordinated butt was going to roll off this ledge and die. Like that was always in the vision in my head, and I was always just so nervous, so anxious to even. I wasn't even close to the edge, really. Like when you look at it, I'm not really that close, but the anxiousness of the lack of body control that I had, really wouldn't let me enjoy the moment. It was just like, I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall. I didn't get that this summer.
Really?
We were in we're at Black Canyon in the Gunnison.
Okay.
And we were looking over the canyon, and I'm like right on the edge where, my toes are hanging off the edge, and it seems like hundreds of foot drop.
Right.
Like it is crazy, deep, and it was really almost vertigo inducing just how the rocks and stuff kind of shape within that canyon. But that's something different. But I didn't have that nervousness. I didn't have that anxiousness about heights. I was, hiking on trails, and there's, a drop off of, 30 feet right next to me, and I'm just going on like do 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 do, and it didn't bother me at all. And so that was one of the really weird blessings, I guess, that I noticed over the summer. It's like, hey, why am I like flipping out right now? Because you pretty close to this darn cliff right now. And it just didn't happen, and that was really incredible. So we have a hike that we are kind of brainstorming. We've got a kind of a location that we want to do. We just got to nail down some dates.
Yep.
Maybe over Christmas break, because we're doing the whole like Thanksgiving this year. So maybe after Christmas, or maybe sometime after HangCon. That's when we want to be around people again.
Just whenever the weather's cooler, please.
Yeah, whenever the weather's cooler. It is still so hot here. But the weight loss journey has really changed, not just putting me into a mindset where, hey, I want to go hiking, not just camping, because I've always been wanting to go camping,
right?
But I want to go hiking. Like, I want to get on a trail, and I'm not scared of a 5-mile hike, a 6-mile hike, or anything over a 1-mile hike. Let's be real.
Anything over a journey from the parking lot to the overlook.
If I leave the sidewalk, it's a no for me there, Paul.
What do you mean I got to cross the median?
Yeah. So I did do my through hikes, so
yeah.
My through hikes, my through hike series. Yeah,
you have those.
So
you got to through hike the Florida Trail. Still,
we need to make that happen. We need to make that happen. I'm not too. I'm not
You're
too
not far from it.
No, I think in fact one of the bike trails that I ride pretty frequently, and I'm going to talk about something else on that here in a second. But I want to say it runs parallel to the Florida Trail for a little bit.
It may. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it
corridor.
does. Yeah, because I think at another one, the Santos bike trail that I ride, I want to say I see signs that are mini approach trails to the trail.
Probably, because I know it's over that way.
Probably does.
I mean, the Florida Trail's not far from HangCon.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
It's only maybe, 15, 20 minutes away? Maybe.
If that.
Yeah, if even.
So something else that my weight loss has encouraged me to do, and I have actually signed up to do a century ride. Now, what a century ride is, it is 100 miles on a pedaling in a day, in a 24-hour period. And I'm actually going to try to do it in close to like 9-ish hours. But I am doing the Cyclacoochee ride on the Withlacoochee rails trails that runs from Citrus Springs, Florida, down to it's near Dade City. I forget exactly the terminus. That actually is the beginning of the trail. It used to be a old railroad line that ran from Florida all the way up to Richmond, Virginia. They have converted into a really nice rail trail. It's really shaded.
Does it still run all the way up to Virginia?
No. It stops in Citrus Springs.
Okay.
But I think there is talk of connecting. Well, there's plans and construction in the process of connecting. Let's see, the Withlacoochee Trail to the Denellen Bike Trail. It has a name, but I forget exactly what it is. And connecting that to the Santos Bike Trail. And also eventually connecting that in some way to the Florida Coast to Coast Trail.
Okay.
and almost doing right now. The Florida Coast to Coast Trail, for one, is not finished as a one-way across the state. That's in the process. But I want to say that I saw plans where they're looking to turn that into maybe a giant loop.
Okay.
Instead of just an out and back. So I'm really excited about
Well, I
that.
know they're working on that coast to coast trail between Brooksville and Groveland. So I see that whenever I go over there to Florida Sands.
Yeah, that's the big gap right now. That's the terrifying gap that a lot of people don't do that particular trail, because
You'd have to go down 50.
Yeah, you have to drive on the road, and I'm sure you and I know that's not safe for cars.
No,
let
no
alone
road in Florida is safe for cars.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm going to be doing that on October 8th, so that's coming up, and I've kind of been preparing for that. I rode 45 miles this past weekend. The weekend before that, I rode about 30.
And you do all this on your recumbent, right?
I do all this on my recumbent. I don't like butt rash, so my recumbent.
You have a couple of recumbents, don't you?
Yes, I do. I have one that I ride that is full suspension, and it has a 26-inch rear tire that gives me a little bit more going. I have another one that has all 20-inch, but I like my Catrike Dumont the best, and that's what I'm going to be taking on my trail. I've also rigged that one for camping as well, so I could do I guess it would be a trike camping, because I can actually hit the Suncoast Trail that runs the Suncoast Parkway. There's a bike trail that runs to the side of that, and I can take that straight down to Starkey.
Well, what I'm getting at is you got two of them. I might have to hook up with you and us do a little weekend bike trip.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I want to say the ride from my house down to Starkey is close to 40, 50 miles.
Okay.
But again, when you're on a recumbent, it's so much more comfortable than a bike. You're really sitting in like a pedaling recliner. It's nice. It's real nice. Your butt doesn't hurt quite like a bike does. You don't have to wear like the padded shorts. You just kind of kick back and you just pedal.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I know my in-laws are really big into the mountain biking. I still have a very healthy respect for gravity. And I know that it works, and I don't want to Sonny Bono into a tree, which that would be my luck. But yeah, so my outlook and my adventure options have significantly increased. But also my gear has my gear is always increasing, but my gear my gear has changed and into some levels that I never thought would be the case. For example, one of the hammocks that I have that I took out this summer that I kept in my day pack and I always had with me was a Dutch netless made in 1.0 Hexon.
Okay.
Which is something that I never thought my tub butt would ever fit in without,
So if you've done the 1.0, then
I know what you're
next is I'll have the cloud at HangCon and you can try it.
I'm afraid I might be a water drop through that cloud. I think that one is more of a mental, because you can see yourself through it, and that just looks like an old.
It's no different than a monolight.
Oh, I agree. I'm not super comfortable in my monolight either. Although the monolight that I have made is like a 1.5 monolight, so there's that. I don't know, the cloud. I
do like the cloud. I like the cloud for lounging.
Yes.
It's a good lounger because it does have a good bit of stretch to it. Of course.
Well, that was something else. Like the 1.0 that I got, I don't notice any stretch.
Really?
The
cloud, it stretches and you can feel it kind of hug you. Kind of,
Yeah, I'm afraid the ground would hugged me in a very rough and tumble kind of way.
Well, you know how far it is. Just prepare.
Yeah, I don't like the preparing. I'd rather just have that southern stop and be over it, but I don't like preparing. It's a mental game. But I have a single layer banyan that I was using,
Yeah.
and comfortable in a single layer hammock and not having to have that double layer, not having to have that extra weight in a pack. Speaking of packs, I am not taking my Osprey. Oh, what am I taking? I have a Osprey Atmos.
Okay.
Super comfortable pack.
Is it the AG?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what both of mine are.
Super comfortable pack. And what I loved about it, the hip belt even fit me at 450 pounds.
Yeah.
And I love that pack. I really, really do. But it's like 4 pounds. It's
Feels
like
a little monkey hugging you.
Yeah, it's really comfortable. Yeah. But I was able to pick up an Exos 48, I believe. So an ultra light pack. So I no longer can say, well, the most weight that I can take out of my pack is around my gut, because that's not necessarily. Actually, I did. I dropped 220 pounds of pack weight.
Yeah. Yep.
So really looking forward to using that more in the cooler months, and to whatever trip that we're talking in, and getting back out to Hen Pond on the Florida Trail as well. It's definitely on the list, but it's really been a surreal experience. I sometimes almost wake up and just go, "Oh, am I going to wake up fat again? Is this a dream? Like, I'm just going to wake up and then, oh no, I can't touch my toes again." Actually, I've always been able to touch my clothes. I'm pretty flexible, but now I can almost put my nose on my knee. I can bend over so well. Which works out great for HangCon, because for you, I just assume the position most of the time anyway.
5 year.
5 year. Yeah.
5 year plan.
But it's
you
really
wait
cool.
you wait for me to come up with that 10-year plan, right?
Oh, I'm dreading that. But it's been really cool going to people that haven't seen me and just go, "Oh crap, that's you."
Well, that's how I was the first time I saw you, because you didn't say anything to me, and then we met. All of us got together out at Sertoma or Florida Music.
Florida and at that point, I'd only lost like 60 pounds, and you're like, "Have you lost weight?"
Well, that, and you brought your little cup of like 4 chicken nuggets with you.
Yeah, that was all that I was eating.
And ate 2.
I can eat a little bit more now, but not too much. But I've had students that have gone to the middle school that I've seen at the middle school for different events, and I had one that literally stared at me for 10 seconds straight,
trying to figure out who you were
before feel like, "Oh crap, that's Mr. Glenn," and that's cool. That's cool. Or just. Some people are kind of weird about like complimenting. So, like, no, I will take all the compliments. I've also had to like completely replace my entire wardrobe like 3 times, so that's been expensive.
What are you trying to get down to total? Do you have a goal weight?
I'm really happy with where I'm at right now.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if you was trying to get down to Waterboy weight or not.
No. I'm not trying to get down to Waterboy weight. If I get down to Waterboy weight, I have flipped the spectrum. And yeah. So
poor Waterboy.
So most people go by BMI, and I know it's not a perfect thing, but that's just kind of.
I think BMI is stupid.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, because you can have a healthy bodybuilder that has hardly any fat but is all muscle, and his BMI is going to be high.
Yeah. So and I'm basing this off of the BMI, because again, that's just the general scale. I am still 2 or 3 pounds from being overweight.
Right. What is your BMI? Do you know?
I don't know what my BMI is off the top of my head, but I know I'm right at that border between being obese and overweight, and the title obese just it.
Right,
and
that's where I'm at too. And I mean, I know I'm overweight.
Mm-hmm.
I know myself is, I know I'm overweight, but I don't see that I'm obese either, though.
Right.
But according to BMI, which, like I said, I think BMI is a joke myself.
I was stupid excited. One of the big non-scale victories is kind of non-scale, but when I went from just becoming obese and not morbidly obese, that was worse. Oh, that was worse. But that was a huge moment. So for me, I'm right at 6 foot, and so my normal BMI weight to be in a normal range is anywhere from between 160 to 180.
Yeah, because
I think I was that weight at 8 years old.
Right. I think a normal BMI is 20. It's mid 20s, I do believe. Low 20s to mid 20s is, I think, normal for BMI.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy now. When my knees or when my ankle or something hurts, because none of us are getting any younger, I know why now. I can say, oh,
I'm glad you know why.
I did something. Whereas before, I could sleep wrong and just wake up and oh, I can't walk today because this hurts. Now I don't have that issue, and that's been a huge thing for me.
God, I wake up and I hurt, and I try and have to figure out what hurts. Not just why it hurts, but what hurts.
Right.
Everything hurts.
but it's really, I'm really excited just this coming year. Doing things at HaneCon, I'm sure, are going to be significantly easier. They were this past year. But really getting out there, trying some new gear that I haven't ever thought that I would ever be in. And it gives me another excuse to spend money. I'm sure our vendors love this.
Hashtag Dawn knows.
Yeah, Dawn knows. Dawn totally knows.
Dawn's going to kill us.
Probably. She could join the club.
Weekly hashtag change.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to go on and just encourage anyone that may be considering something like this. If you have any questions, I'm really an open book. You're not gonna, for one, I'm a teacher, so I have no dignity left anyway. But if you just want to talk or just have some questions, feel free to reach out. I have no problem talking to anybody. I've got nothing to hide. I am comfortable with myself in answering questions. And if I don't know something, maybe I can just, guide you in the right direction. But it's really been a crazy adventure that I think about every single day, because I'm living in this wonderful dream of a completely new beginning. I haven't felt this good in, I don't know, ever.
Yeah.
So as far as physically, I'm playing tennis 4 days a week. I'm riding 40 miles on a weekend. Who does that on a regular basis and not dying by the end? I will say I did buy a pair of running shoes because I told my wife that I may do a 5K with her. I'm going to hold out and see how long that lasts. But I mean, going down the trail, it felt good to just move. When we were in Spring Lake or Twin Lakes,
right?
I had a few trails that I wanted to get done, and not a lot of time to do them because the drive out to them was close to 45 minutes.
Gotcha. Just
because of the roads. But I really, really, really wanted to do these trails. I wanted to see some of the locations and the views and the waterfalls that are on these trails. and I was running up them trails. Like I had my, I didn't have boots on. I had trail runners, and I was trail running, and it was almost drug. It was a drug feeling. It just felt wonderful. I had this natural high.
How many years? Do that. How many years had it been since you had been able to do that?
How old am I? I've never like I said, I've always been a super heavy. I remember my first hike that I went on, like first legitimate hike. Okay. It felt like it was 10 miles long. It probably was significantly lower, but I remember doing that in Boy Scouts, and up until this summer, and I've done hikes before, but up until this summer, I never truly understand why someone would want. I never understood the enjoyment that you would feel being out doing the AT or something like that until this summer.
Really?
Yeah. Like I was just like, this is hard. I understand, like, pain is weakness, leaving the body full crap, but
it is hard. I mean, even now, I mean, because, of course, being here in Florida, we don't have the mountains and stuff like that. So, I mean, even if I do get out and hike, it's basically just a walk.
Yeah, but sugar sand is no joke.
Right.
Sugar sand is no joke.
But, I mean, like, whenever I went up to Virginia and went back up to McAfee, I mean, it whooped me, but I still enjoyed it. And, it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, if I get tired, I stop. I catch a breath, I take a drink of water, whatever, and then, hike a little further. I mean, it probably took me twice as long to, hike from the trailhead to, the knob as it did, back in 2012. But, I mean, I didn't have the 700 some odd miles in on me and all that stuff. And, I've got probably 50 pounds extra weight at least on me, from back then. So
I think,
but that's the pleasure. That's the pleasure of hiking, is if you do get tired or whatever, you can always stop.
Yeah, but I would stop and not start again. I would you would stop, you would have a snack, you would just kind of chill for a little bit. If I was stopping, that hammock was coming out and I'm taking a nap. So I would tell people, I am not a hiker. I am a wandering napper. And I will hike with the intention of taking a nap. I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed the struggle. Like, I enjoyed the altitude because I could stop, I could catch my breath and not feel like I was dying. And I could enjoy that struggle a little bit more, other than I'm going to die here. Because I've definitely been on some trips where I was like, you know what, just take me now. I just want to die. I don't want to go any further.
Oh yeah, I mean, I made it about, I'll say maybe 100, 150 yards on the trail, and it's like I felt like I was going to die. It's like, okay, this is going to be embarrassing if I have to call rescue to come get me 150 yards off the trailhead. But
I'd come get you, Paul.
But yeah, just to laugh.
I would laugh at you, but
just to laugh at me.
Yes. Poke you with a stick.
Oh Lord. So,
but yeah, it's been a wild ride, and my outlook on life has completely changed. My enjoyment of the outdoors, where it was totally there before. Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed my time at the outdoors, even at my heaviest. But it's just something completely new now, and being able to use some of the gear that I thought I would never get into, it's been very humbling in a very positive way. So, thank you to, I just kind of want to say a thank you to all the people that have supported me in this journey and that continue to support me. And if there's anything that I can help with someone out there that may be listening, don't hesitate at all to reach out. I'd love to kind of share my experience in anything that I can. And, y'all know like that I like to talk. So
no,
Nah, I mean, here or there. Here or there.
All right. Well, I know I'm proud of you myself, and because I've seen the change from the beginning to the end, or till this point. Let me put
Till
it
this
that way.
point.
Till this point, I
I'm
can't say
still
the
losing.
end.
I'm still losing.
So,
Oh, to answer your question, like, what do I want to get? So my goal was to get down to 180. However, I don't think that I could feel healthy that low, just for how I am right now. And honestly, to get that low, I would probably have to have another surgery just to remove the excess of candle wax that this melted candle looks like it does right now. I won't indulge in that mental image. But I would love to get to 199.
Okay.
That would be my goal.
So below 200.
Another 23 pounds.
I got you.
So just to say that I'm in Wonderland. So
see, I want to do a whole weight loss thing myself as well, and my goal is about 175, 180 ish, because I know that's where I know I'm comfortable, because that's where I was before and everything. But see, my problem is I got a couple of problems. One, working. All of the problems are food, but
so easy, so easy.
But especially working like construction, and I'm sure most other jobs, when you only have a 30-minute lunch, it's hard, because one, you're eating so fast, you're just cramming it in, and two, to be able to get in a lunch in that time, what do you got to do? You got to go to a fast food joint, But then, then you have the holidays. You have Christmas and you have Thanksgiving, and I go all out with cooking, because we always have friends and family and all that over, and we take food to our neighbors and everything else. So, I mean, I'll smoke a couple of turkeys and a couple of hams and just have a smorgasbord at Thanksgiving and Christmas. So like the end of the year is like around this time is when it gets bad, because we have Thanksgiving, then we have Christmas, then we have New Year's, and then we have HangCon.
And HangCon's like a 4-day event.
So, right.
Yeah, and that's something that I've had to kind of shift, because you're right. So much of our celebrations that we do just in life about anything is so tied to food.
Yeah.
And, my mother-in-law, who has been wonderful throughout all of this, she's always asked, like, well, what can I do to kind of change what I'm doing to make sure that you can eat? I'm like, don't change anything, because I can eat so little. Like, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, and I've had to really shift my vision of what, being together with people, it doesn't have to involve food, because you're right. So many things, like, even like when we get together, what do? We eat.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, okay. What's going up with this for fall sprawl that we always take?
Midnight bacon
and a flat top. Okay. Because we always have our fajitas. We always have our smash burgers. We always have that stuff.
And what other place do we look forward to going to every single time?
The barbecue place down the road.
Not just a barbecue place. It is a barbecue buffet.
Yeah. Barbecue buffet.
That's something. All right. So I was a buffet connoisseur before. Like, I could tell you the best ones. Whenever we would go anywhere, like out of town or whatever, I would just always look up. It was a Google save search. Chinese buffets near you, because we all know that I love me some Chinese food. But it was always not a restaurant.
I just had Chinese today.
I am looking for a buffet, because I want to eat. I have not, other than when we have gone to trip, I have not been to a single buffet since in a year and a half.
Well, it wouldn't benefit you now.
No, it just makes me angry, because again, I still love food and I want to eat all the things, but now I can't.
You can't.
And that makes
so buffets wouldn't be worth it to you anyhow.
No.
And see, my mindset when I go to a buffet, I'm going to get my money's worth.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if I go to a buffet, it's usually like myself and my wife and our son. And of course, they don't eat their worth. So I've got to take up the slack there. I mean,
you got
It's
I
just
knew exactly what you.
it's like I'm going to get our money's worth. It's not just my meal. Okay, it's the total cost.
It is a team effort,
Yeah,
and you are not pulling your weight.
And right now, Red Lobster has the endless shrimp fest going on. I think my record is like 143 shrimp or something like that. It's on up there. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So.
Sleevey Wonder does not approve, but I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I love food, certain foods especially. But so what does that cover it for what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that is about covers it.
Okay. So I think we're gonna end it here in just a minute, but I want to go over just a little bit of like HangCon news that I'm very excited about because, like we talked about at the beginning, we have some new vendors and old vendors, and we have a good bit of vendors that are going to be on site, which is always a plus.
Oh man, we love on-site vendors.
I mean, not just us loving them, but all of our guests love them too, because anybody can go online and order something, but then you got to wait for shipping and all that stuff. But to be able to go up and see the product, feel the product, then buy the product and instantly use the product.
It sounds like a perfect concoction for impulse buy, but I'm all for it.
Exactly. Well, you do impulse buy.
No.
Hashtag don't tell Don. But okay, so I'm gonna just go over a list of confirmed vendors. Now, like I said, I started emailing last week, so it hadn't even really been a full week yet that I sent out emails. And so these are the ones that have confirmed that they are either donating to the raffle or going to be attending and have a booth set up. Okay. So I'll tell you who the vendor is and whether they're attending or donating. So we have Bat Stoves attending. We have a local vendor, which is a new one, which is Be Good Honey. They're going to be attending so that you'll be able to get some good local honey and some other stuff that they make. They've actually got, I was looking on their website today, they've actually got some like seasonal honeys. They have a apple cider infused honey and a pumpkin spice infused honey.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about ordering some myself. So we have Sea Knock Outdoors. They are donating. We have Dutchware Gear, which is attending. We have Enlightened Equipment, which is donating, but more than likely going to be attending as well. Hanging High Hammocks, attending. We have Jacks Are Better is attending. And Catabatic Gear is going to be donating. Cooler Cloth is a new one also that is going to be donating. We have Mike D's Barbecue, which of course is going to be attending and also taking over the barbecue dinner on Saturday. Mr. Mox Hammocks is going to be there. They're attending, setting up a booth. We have One Wind Outdoors, which is donating again this year. We have Peak Refuel is donating again. Puri Bag is donating. That's a new vendor that we have. Purple Rain Adventure Skirts is donating. They're going to be donating. She told me she's going to be sending a kilt, one of their kilts they make. That is a new vendor. Red Paw Packs is attending. They were there last year, they came with Ripstop by the Roll, just to check it out and see what HangCon was all about and everything. And he is going to be there this year, set up and have gear there to sell and everything. He has some, his backpacks and all that stuff. Some of his awesome gear. Ripstop by the Roll is going to be donating and possibly going to be there again. Hopefully they can make it. Sawyer. Now, if y'all remember last year, everybody that came, as they were signing in, got a bottle of the permethrin from Sawyer. Sawyer, they always make sure that usually that we have enough permethrin to give out to everybody. But the good news is that they're actually going to be there on site this year and set up. So you'll be able to, I'm sure they'll have their filters and their Picardin and their permethrin and their sunscreens and a little bit of everything. Suncoast Outdoors is, of course, going to be there. They are still going to be doing their guided hike on Saturday morning. Superior Gear is going to be donating and more than likely attending. Let me get this little thingy out of the way here so I can see what's going on. Tensile is going to be donating. We have Tree Hugger Tees is going to be attending. So Jeanette's going to be there and have all of her t-shirts, and I can't wait to see what HangCon shirt she comes up with this year, because she always comes up with a different one each year. We have Two Speed Hammocks. He's going to be attending. UGQ Outdoors is going to be attending. Walhalla Hammocks is going to be attending. 803 Outpost is going to be donating the coffee again. And of course, we have Yobo Gear, which will be there. So as you can see, we already have, I think I counted them up earlier. It's almost right at 30 vendors that are confirmed, and a lot more that are attending this year than have in the past. And that's not to mention all the ones that I just have not heard back from that we normally have each year. I figure I'll hear from them, hopefully within the next week or so. But just, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And Pheonix is always doing the post every time we get new vendors and stuff. And I think what are we now, AJ? Like a post a day is what it ends up being.
Yeah, we are,
because I know you've got to schedule that stuff.
Yeah, we schedule things out, and unfortunately Facebook has handcuffed me into 30 days as far as I can reach out. And I try to not post anything on the weekends just because I like my weekends, and I'm not on Facebook too much on the weekends, so I'm sure most of our audience isn't either, but we may have to fill in some weekend slots just to make sure. But I have everything posted out until October 13th, I believe.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And that's as far as you could go out right now.
That's as far as Facebook lets me to post out. Yeah.
And he still actually has some that he has to put on there as soon as he's able to. He just wasn't able to yet. So, just follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see those pop up, each day, and you can see what vendors we have and see the new ones that we get as they come out. And I think also what we're going to start doing here is I'm going to start reaching out to a lot of these vendors that we have that are our HangCon partners. And I'm going to try and get a lot of them on the podcast. That way we can hear their story and stuff. I know we've had some of them on in the past. But I think, you might be hearing a little more from them here shortly, just because we have so many, and I want to try and get as many on as I possibly can. So, they support us, so I want to make sure that they're supported as well. And some of these y'all may not have heard of and don't know about, and it'll give everybody a chance to be able to check them out and see what they got. So I think that about covers it. So like I said, just follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go and sign up for HangCon if you have not yet. And I know AJ mentioned the raffle tickets at the very beginning, but just to reiterate on that, right now until October 31st, we have 7 tickets for $20 if you pre-buy them now from our website. After that, it's going to be going to 6 for $20, and that will be all the way up until December 31st. And then after that, it's going to be 5 for $20 or $5 a piece. So, anyhow, that's going to wrap up this episode. So I think this is September 15th. So our next episode will be coming out on September 29th. So until then, happy hanging, everyone.